I'm back with another Anti Venom deck, and this time I'm using them with Hela, which you might think is quite weird, but actually in practice it works really well. But before we get into this anti-Hela style deck, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like and subscribing, that would be fantastic. And also, comment down below and tell me where you're from. I'll make sure to reply to each one of them, and it would be interesting to see where my audience is. So if you've ever used a Hela deck, it's likely going to have been prior to the nerf to Hellcow, so taking that activate down from 2 discarded cards just down to the 1. And then obviously Hela's been nerfed a couple of times as well in terms of the negative power for resurrected cards. But this time I'm using it after those nerfs with Anti Venom in the deck, but it's pretty similar to the sort of deck that you would have used before. In terms of the cards that you actually use to discard other cards, you've got Blade, Lady Sif, Hellcow, and then technically Black Cat as well, because Black Cat discards themselves. Then you've got Luke Cage, who is obviously very useful both for the resurrected cards from Hela, but also for whichever card Anti Venom hits, because it will make it into a 0 cost, potentially high powered card. You've got Jubilee just to be able to pull in any of these high powered cards as well if you're not able to discard any of them, so just being able to put out any power, which is very nice. And then the last sort of 4 cards, so Magneto, Giganto, the Infinaut and Death, are really the targets of what you want to be discarding or hitting with the Anti Venom as well. So it's pretty straightforward in terms of usability. There are many different routes that you can take in terms of like the order of cards that you play. A lot of it is down to RNG and luck at the end of the day when you use Hela naturally, but it turned out to be really, really successful. And for a Hela deck after the nerfs that I described, it's probably the best one that I've actually used. So I would definitely encourage using it, and I will show you exactly how it played out in the following gameplay. Drawn a lot of our high cost cards already. We'll have Black Cat that gets immediately discarded, so that will be at least 1 hit for Hela. Still can't put anything down for the moment, but the Hellcow is obviously the only thing that we can sort of look to put down next. Looks like we're coming up against a pretty conventional or sort of newish discard deck. And we do get the Hela, so at least we have that as a plan. If we do get Anti Venom on the sort of next turn or turn after that, then that would be nice. Oh my goodness. What are we going to do? I mean, a Jubilee in this situation isn't awful in all fairness, because only Jubilee will get changed, and then maybe we'll pick up on a... Oh, the only thing is, if it hits Blade, then obviously it'll discard our Hela, but that's a 1 in 5 chance of that happening, so I'll give it a go anyway. Infinaut, definitely not complaining about. And we hit an Anti Venom that isn't our Anti Venom, that also hits the Anti Venom. Okay, cool. I'll play that into Tarnax as well. We'll get the Hellcow out, which is another discard for our Hela, which is nice. And it will only hit one of our sort of high cost cards as well, as long as we do play the free card that Anti Venom gives us. Hopefully it's a Luke Cage, I think that would be quite nice. Ooh, Gambit's gonna hit Anti Venom hopefully.
Rest in peace.
It's a bit rude. Not too big though, thankfully. Oh, a 10 power crossbones. It hits Lady Sif, which actually is quite nice for us, I will admit. We'll play that over here. It will get changed to a different 3 cost, and it will at least have some power. And then I'll put the Hela over there, because as a 7 power 6 cost, that's likely going to hit something that's higher power than that. We've already activated Hellcow as well, which hits the Magneto, which is nice. And that obviously hits Death. Ironheart could have been better, but I'm not going to complain.
To me.
We're quite lopsided on the left. But we do win the middle. And get a lot of power on the right as well. That is a lucky hit for them, isn't it? For their Dracula. That not so much.
I am Apocalypse.
Nice.
Victory.
White Hot Room is probably not a location that we're going to be filling anytime soon. Maybe towards the end of the game, but by that point it will be too late. Still nothing that we can play at the moment, but it's naturally looking like Luke Cage is the play for the next turn. And not something that I want to play in a Tarnax 4 either, so... And they've got the Electro so that they get the extra max energy, but aren't limited to 1 card per turn, so that's very nice for them. I'm just going to get the Anti Venom out now. Hopefully it hits the Infinaut or Giganto or Black Cat. If not one of those, then Jubilee is also not one that I'm going to complain about. They've done the same as us. And it hits Giganto, which is nice. I am thinking, do I play that instead of that? Oh, I can play... What am I even thinking about? That's just so much that I can play there. No, there's no point in putting Blade into Tarnax 4 realistically, is there? Ooh, that's going to be somewhat annoying for us, I think. Howard the Dark. Oh, actually, yeah, of course, US Agent actually isn't going to have an effect because we have Luke Cage. Of course. And then, yeah, we have Hela, which I'm also going to put in Tarnax 4 as well. It's likely that whatever 6 cost we do pick up is going to be higher power. The only problem is we have the potential to hit Destroyer, and which will kind of ruin our plans, but we'll see what happens. That's a part of the fun, isn't it? Either way, hopefully Hellcow hits Death, or if it does hit Jubilee, then it brings in the Infinaut or Black Cat, and not Lady Sif. But sort of odds are in our favour to have an ideal play here. Hits the Jubilee. Okay, so we've got now that 1 in 3 that I described.
To me.
Which hits the Lady Sif. Magneto on the left. Brings across Thor. We've definitely won the left, obviously. Taskmaster.
We are the future.
Oh, that actually potentially wins us the right? Oh my goodness, they've done the exact same. That's unfortunate.
Doom rules all.
That is very unlucky for them.
Victory.
We do have Feast, so as long as they play something here quite early on, then we can get a lot of our cards out early, which is very much ideal for us. But never a guarantee. And if profile pictures are anything to judge by, this is a destroy deck, which that Agony also makes me think. And with that, we can play Lady Sif. Okay, well, Sokovia has discarded our Giganto for us, which does help. We can put the Lady Sif down, it will discard one of these. In an ideal world, it will discard the Jubilee. Because Black Cat's going to get discarded anyway, and I'd like to keep Hellcow as something that we actually play down and can activate instead. And that is... yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I asked for. With that, we can already play down Hellcow as well. And we get the Hela. this is currently going very well for us. So yeah, I'll get the Hell Cow down now. Bit of rhyming there. Hell Cow down now.
We are Venom.
Anti Venom, very nice. So it's either going to hit Magneto, Infinaut, or Death, which are the ideal hits. If it doesn't, then it hits Luke Cage or Blade. Let's see if we get lucky. It hits Blade, which I am, funny enough, not going to be using. I do not want to discard my Hela. As long as we pick up a high-powered card in the next turn, then we can at least discard that. But with Hell Cow in hand, it's not particularly necessary, I guess. I'll put Blade over there, and then I'll get Hela down. Hell Cow doesn't do anything if I activate it here anyway, but just for habit's sake, I'm going to do it.
All hail Hydra!
Rest in peace.
You are mine.
Impressive.
We are Venom.
It's quite a bit of power.
Rest in peace.
Minions to me.
Oh my goodness. That was very lucky that we picked up the Luke Cage there as well. That definitely helped. Wow, I mean, actually that's not too bad for us. Maybe I would have preferred the Luke Cage to have gotten discarded there because Black Cat was going to discard itself anyway, but at least it wasn't the Anti Venom. That is at least a positive for us. Sacred Timeline probably not going to be filling that. Do I get the Luke Cage down, or do I just go straight for the Infinaut now? I think that's what I do. In the long run, we probably benefit from that more. I'm interested to see where Nocturne moves to, because even if it does move to the middle... will it get the bonus power there? I'm not sure, actually. I'd be interested to see. Super Scroll. Currently don't have any ongoing cards down. If we put Luke Cage down, then that will be the only one. We do have the Magneto. What do I do in this situation? I think I'd probably get the... maybe the Jubilee, actually, I'm thinking. We'll get the Jubilee down. Into a Lady Sif, which hits the Hell Cow. At least it's a bit of added power as long as we can pick up the Hela. We do. Yeah, maybe this is still the best situation for us. I mean, technically, Magneto's still just going to remain on 0 power, unless I were to do this instead, but we could get the Infinaut down and still a powered Hell Cow, so I think that's what I'm going to do. Is this going to be an Ultron maybe in the middle?
We are the future.
Minions to me.
Okay. That should be enough, surely.
Strings on me.
Fantastic.
Victory.
Elysium is always very nice with this deck because we typically have, well, all high cost cards. Altar of Death is an interesting one though. I'll get Luke Cage down. I won't use the blade immediately just so I can wait and see what we pick up rather than just hitting the Jubilee. But no matter what we do, it is likely that we can win Altar of Death unless they're playing a destroy deck, just because Hela's going to be able to resurrect cards and most likely put at least one in the middle. Black Cat's going to discard itself, so maybe I'm thinking actually if I just do Jubilee the middle and at least have a guarantee of a card there. We're not going to use Blade because Black Cat's going to discard itself anyway. It seems somewhat pointless. And it hits death, which is nice. Dracula.
Gotta run, hun.
Luke Cage and Dracula in a deck. Interesting. It's quite interesting. We can't really take full advantage of the 2 energy that we've managed to pick up, because I don't want to discard Hela or Lady Sif, so I'll just get the Hell Cow down now. To be honest, I'm thinking I might completely abandon this left hand side just in case they potentially do hit like Apocalypse or something. Anti Venom as well. I don't want to use either of these cards, which seems so pointless in a Hela deck, but I think it would be more pointless to use them in this situation.
You won't need this anymore.
Helicarrier gives him a few more cards to work with, I guess. Does mess up their Dracula line though, which is a little bit confusing. Giganto. Not complaining about that. We'll get that down on the left hand side. Or alternatively, I could just discard it and see where it puts it instead, because I'm thinking about abandoning this left hand side and just letting fate take the wheel, which I'm thinking I might do. And then I'll use Blade over there, I guess. I will also take out... I will just put Lady Sif over there as well. Oh no, I won't. Gotta play the Hela. And then just, yeah, hope that... Well, obviously the Blade's going to hit the Giganto, which is good. Hellcow will hit the Lady Sif, so at least we get those cards out.
Minions to me.
And the Gigantic goes right, which is very nice for us. I was thinking for a second... Oh my goodness. Not as high powered as I thought it was going to be on the left.
Victory.
So considering negative zones out and we've got the Luke Cage, that is already very nice. Black Cat's going to discard itself, and we've also got Hela. So as far as opening hands go, that is not a bad one. Angela, so this could be an Agent Venom plus Anti Venom style bounce deck, maybe? Toxin? I don't know. We shall see, won't we? Either way, getting the Luke Cage out on the next turn looks like the play for the moment. Werewolf by Night. Yeah, Lady Sif potentially could hit Hela, so that is just not the play. Hellcow on the next round is what it's looking like. Misery not hitting or destroying anything, sorry, is definitely quite interesting. Yeah, I'll get obviously the Hellcow out for now. Kind of stick with what the original plan was. If we do hit a Blade on the next turn, that would be quite nice, because we can then hit the Infinaut, but Blade has just been discarded by Ondu. It's almost like I spoke that into existence, really. Giganto. I mean, the thing is now, there is less of a chance for hitting the Hela. It's a 1 in 4. I feel comfortable enough to play the Lady Sif, but that may be like my famous last words, and this will hit the Hela. But we shall see.
Doom rules all.
Hits the Infinaut, perfect. Do not mind that at all. Well, Werewolf by Night cannot bounce to the right, it can only bounce to the middle. Obviously discard. I'll get the Hela out on the right as well, will I? Where am I going to put this? I mean, Werewolf by Night will only bounce into the middle, theoretically. I'll Hela left and see what happens. Okay. That is a lot of power in the middle for them as well.
Minions to me.
Oh, perfect. The Infinaut there was more than enough. And then we even draw the middle as well.
Victory.
This is a very nice opening hand for us. We'll have Black Cat discard themselves, and we can hit the death with Blade. So already 2 discards. As long as we pick up Hela, then this is already very nice.
Gotta run, hun.
Tarnax 4 is a nice location for Jubilee. We have the Giganto, which obviously we can't play at the moment. Cable has stolen one of our cards, so hopefully that isn't Hela. And that's a bit rude from Scorpion, but if we get Luke Cage, then that is not necessarily an issue for us. We do have the Anti Venom, and I'm thinking Jubilee is also a good card to play in Vormir as well. Okay, well, we're definitely coming up against a bit of a
We are the future.
sort of a Misery Mill style deck, but hitting the Magneto is very nice for us. What am I thinking now? It's annoying because I want to play the Anti Venom in this situation, but I think getting the Jubilee down and it hitting Vormir is more beneficial for us at the moment, which hits the Infinaut as well. Ghost, so we will always have priority no matter what. Yeah, I don't like that very much, but here we are. Right, I'll get Anti Venom out. I'm thinking I probably need to put a bit more power on this left hand side. I know that we have Giganto that could do that, but I think this is good for now. And they stole our Hell Cow that they've just destroyed. We pick up the Hela, which is very, very nice. We will be playing that in the middle for sure. I guess I could play the Luke Cage. Is it necessary? No. Would I rather get some more power on this left-hand side? I think so. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah.
Victory.